Restaurants are causing big problems for Dashers, and here's what's happening. As a DoorDash driver, there are many things out of your control when it comes to how much money you can make. There's what area you dash in, what orders DoorDash decides to send you, how much traffic is on the road, the weather, what time of day it is, and so on and so forth. Because there are so many things out of your control as a DoorDash driver, it's important to focus on the things you can control, like what orders you decide to accept and how quickly you can get those orders done. But the absolute biggest problem I'm having with the second thing is that a lot of the time, not even that is in your control. Because restaurants are getting increasingly worse and worse at having the orders ready when you arrive, or even having them ready in a timely manner once you get there. So during this shift, I will be showing you just how big of a problem this is and how much time we truly waste at these restaurants and how much money these slow restaurants are costing us. Now I know it's not all their fault, considering everywhere seems to be understaffed and restaurant jobs just aren't worth working anymore. But even with all that going on, restaurants could still make an effort to actually make DoorDash orders a priority instead of just looking at you like you're a peasant when you walk through the doors. The way I will be showing how much time is wasted is by setting a timer the second the restaurant makes me wait longer than if they had just had the order sitting there for me in their lobby. And then the timer will stop once I have the order. And if I have to go through the drive-thru, the time will start when I start waiting, not the time it takes me to tell them about the order. Make sense? Good. Let's get going. We got our first order of the day here. This order to McDonald's, $5, 3.2 miles. And this particular McDonald's, I usually don't have to wait at really at all. Usually they just have it ready for me. So hopefully that's the case with this order. Let's go see. Unfortunately, this order did not start my shift off on a great foot. I ended up waiting for 5 minutes and 20 seconds, and then lucky me, I was able to accept another order to a different McDonald's. And this one's lobby was closed. I just had a DoorDash pickup. Thank you. After getting to the window, they blessed me by having me wait in the parking stall while they took their sweet time. Somehow I still ended up waiting less than the first order and only had to endure 3 minutes and 14 seconds for this one. After dropping that order off, I was met with my first order that was ready right when I got there. Thanks, Tony. Too bad that order came with a Taco Bell stack, and when I got there, I noticed their lobby was closed, so once again, it was back to the drive-thru for me.
Go ahead.
I just had a DoorDash pickup for Lonnie.
All right, please pull forward.
All right, only a 1 minute and 56 second wait on that one, so I really wasn't complaining. I mean, let's face it, that's amazing for Taco Bell. I then finished off the first hour with another no wait order, which was great. All right guys, we're now 1 hour of the way through this shift and we've only waited a little over 10 minutes, which honestly, not too bad. I thought it might be more because it's during the slow hours, like it just barely hit 4 o'clock, so that means we started at 3 o'clock. And surprisingly, we're at $29. So we're doing really good so far. Haven't waited too long, but honestly, 10 minutes out of an hour, still longer than what I would like it to be. But anyway, we just got our next order. It's another McDonald's order. So apparently, people just want McDonald's the day after Christmas or something. I don't know. $5.50. 3.2 miles. So let's go see how long of a wait this one's gonna be. Surprisingly, only 59 seconds on that one, but then I was met with a stack order, which brought on one of my longest waits all shift. A lovely 7 minutes and 12 seconds. Yeah, it was bad. Good thing the drop-offs were in the same apartment complex, so it could have been a lot worse. All right guys, we just got our last order of this second hour. $5, 5.3 miles, not the best order, and of course another McDonald's. I'm telling you guys, I don't know what it is, it's like the day after Christmas and everyone is just sick of their home-cooked meals and they just want McDonald's. So I accepted this order and we just arrived at McDonald's and hopefully it's ready right when I walk in. Wow guys, surprisingly only a 21-second wait on that order. That's impressive, McDonald's. I'm used to long waits at this one. Let's go drop it off. Well, that order wrapped up the second hour. We're at $49.50. We've waited over 19 minutes so far. We're going into $2.50 peak pay, so that's amazing. I'm curious to see if this changes the amount I'm going to be waiting at every restaurant. It's going to be longer waits because it's busier, or if it's going to be shorter waits because it's so busy that the orders can't get filled quick enough, so they'll be sitting there waiting for me when I get to the restaurant. So I actually just got my next order, and check this out, guys. This is crazy. $15.50 for 3.7 miles. It's a stack order, looking like it's gonna be a good one. Let's go see. Well, it was almost a good one. See, the first order was only a 30-second wait, but once I got to Rancheritos, things did not go so smooth. After 5 minutes and 18 seconds, I finally had the order and could move on to the drop-offs. The next order to IHOP was great and was practically ready when I got there, and the next 2 orders weren't too bad either. But then I got this order to Chili's. But knowing what I know about Chili's, I feared that this could end up being a really long wait. And sure enough, almost 4 minutes before I had my order. Somehow DoorDash was aware of my pain I had just endured and granted me 2 0-second wait orders in a row to Taco Bell and Little Caesars, and then this happened. Well guys, unfortunately I got this order, which looks good on the surface, but I drive all the way there and go in to pick it up, and they say it's going to be about a 10 to 15 minute wait because they're super backed up on DoorDash orders. And that was after like 2 minutes of waiting in there for someone to acknowledge me. And so this order wasted a bunch of time, about 10 minutes, because now I got to drive all the way back to a busier place because I can't really get that many orders where I am right now. Scratch that. I actually just got my next order. This one to McDonald's. So in total, I ended up wasting about 6.5 minutes on that order. Wasn't 10 like I had expected, but we just got that McDonald's order. Let's go pick it up.
Hi, what can I get for you?
I just had a DoorDash pickup.
All right, what's the code?
143 are the last 3 digits.
Okay, pull up to the second window. Thank
Thanks.
you.
This order definitely could have been worse, but luckily the drive-thru line moved pretty quick and I only had to wait 1 minute and 46 seconds. Unfortunately, the next order I took to the exact same McDonald's was not as kind to me. They made me wait all the way through the drive-thru line so they could tell me to park and wait just to stick it to me. After waiting there for 8 minutes and 40 seconds, I was met with my next order, which ended up being my longest wait of the shift. A whopping 8 minutes and 55 seconds. Yeah, that was definitely a rough stretch. Even with these long waits I was having, somehow I was still making really good money. Alright guys, we are now 5 hours of the way through this shift, and we're at a whopping $151.49, which is just crazy. That's like $30 an hour. And we're now into the 8 o'clock hour. Just got my next order actually. This one to 7-Eleven. Not a bad order at all. $9, 3 miles. Definitely just accepted that one. But anyway, we've waited over 53 minutes so far. So almost an hour long of just waiting for orders, which is pretty bad, to be honest with you guys. But I'm curious to see is as we go through this 8 o'clock hour, this is probably the last hour I'm gonna do, just take a couple more orders, including the one I just did, see if that makes a difference and see if I'm going to be waiting even longer as the night goes on because restaurants have less employees or they're just slower or whatever. We'll see what happens. I feel like it did make some difference considering I ended up waiting over 12 minutes just for my last 4 orders. So in total, I ended up waiting 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 41 seconds, which is just crazy considering I only went 6 hours and 20 minutes. That means really I was only dashing for like 5 hours. That's crazy. Even with that huge long wait time that I had during this shift, I was still able to make $187.99, which is honestly really good. That comes out to be about $29.84 per hour. So if we take the time that I wasted waiting at restaurants, I could have made an extra $32 on top of what I already made, which would have made my total around $220, bringing my hourly total up $5 per hour, which means I would have been making like $35 an hour had restaurants just had the orders ready when I got there. So you guys can see just how big of a difference this makes. If you compound this over weeks and months, it's a really big deal. This is costing Dashers hundreds and hundreds of dollars every single month. And if restaurants could just come up with a better system and have orders ready on time, this would make making money so much easier, honestly. Now I understand there's going to be waits sometimes, regardless, but I just wish that restaurants would make DoorDash orders more of a priority and make it so that we don't have to wait as long because it really takes a toll on the amount of money we can make. And that's even with knowing what restaurants are good orders to take from and which orders take forever. Like if you guys noticed, I didn't take a single order from Wendy's because I just know that no matter what, it's going to be a long wait. So this is with a super experienced Dasher knowing which restaurants usually produce quick orders, and I still waited over an hour in just 6 hours and 20 minutes of work. But with all that said, I just wish restaurants could do one thing for us Dashers, just one thing, and that would be to have a shelf where they place the order instead of making you get the attention of a worker in order to grab the order. This would just make it so much easier, and I know a lot of restaurants already do have this, but there's also so many that don't. And it's so annoying that you have to wait in line or that you have to wait and get the attention of a worker, and usually they just look at you and literally glare. They're just like,
I'm not doing it. I'm not asking this guy what his order is.
That seems to be what they do to Dashers. At least that happens to me sometimes, and it just gets really annoying. So if every restaurant could just have a shelf where they put the orders that you could just come in and grab, I think things would be a lot quicker. Regardless of how understaffed the restaurant is, it would just make everything a lot easier. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did or got any information out of it, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.